Hi there, my name is Brooks with Character Design Forge. I'm still planning on launching my course Learn Character Design in the late spring, early summer, and so I wanted to spend some time on the essentials of character design, starting with how. How do you become a character designer? Now, later on I'll be taking some time to talk about the practical ways to make a living as a character designer, but for now we'll focus on the skills that you need. Now, this is sort of a whirlwind, but I promise that I will cover each of these things in more detail later on. Now, you're likely interested in character design because you love characters, and you're inspired by the ones you've seen in movies, and games, and animation, and you want to create your own. And that's awesome, that's how I feel. Now, here is how you can do that. Now, character design is an incredibly unique art form, mostly because it's kind of an amalgam of a lot of different disciplines formed together. The first thing that a character designer needs isn't actually artistic. Of course, those things are important, but a character designer's primary role is as a storyteller. Characters are vessels for storytelling, so we need our character to be able to tell that story and do so in the best way. We imbue characters with personalities, as though they're real people, using the real-life people, emotions, and personalities that we know of in real life. We also use personification, which is the process of taking something that's inanimate or otherwise non-human and giving them the traits of something that we can connect with and identify with. A character designer starts then by observing others. Study people's behaviors and expressions, and save what you see because the best characters show us something that we're familiar with and that we connect with. Next, it's good for a character designer to have a good grasp of good storytelling, noticing and understanding the way that characters in fiction grow and change through arcs. There are things that a character designer needs to learn in order to be a good artist, like the fundamentals, which include perspective, which is a drawing's position in space, form, which is the use of shapes to give your art dimension, construction, which is building a drawing with consistent forms, anatomy, which is used as reference for proper and believable human qualities, and good draftsmanship, which is really just being able to create good, clean, confident work. But there are some additional qualities, ones that go further than simply being able to draw well. I think these things contribute to a successful character designer's mindset. These are things that I want to talk more about in upcoming videos, but briefly. 1. Your audience needs to understand something about your character immediately, so you need clarity. No matter how complex or detailed your work is, it still needs to read well. 2. Your audience needs to understand your character and be able to empathize with and understand what it's feeling, so you need expression. Some characters need to show a wide spectrum of feelings and thoughts, sometimes without ever speaking. 3rd, when it comes to making dynamic designs that people love, as well as a design that just feels right, you need to consider the balance of your character. As much as we exaggerate with our designs, their actions and movement still need to be plausible. 4th, in order to keep designs interesting, there's several qualities that improve our designs, not the least of which is contrast. Sometimes something as simple as a curved line intersecting with a jagged one breaks the visual flow of a character. And sometimes the element added to our character to make them asymmetrical can say something about them. For example, a mechanical arm or shoulder pauldron on one side tends to make a character more dynamic, and perhaps more of an outcast. 5th is something that's sometimes considered to be the indescribable quality of character design. And some think that appeal is simply a term that means that a drawing looks good. Now, to a certain extent, that is the case, but there's something of a science to making a character that looks good, whether that means cute or pretty, or even purposefully awkward, ugly, or repulsive. 6th, to go along with contrast and balance, we need to consider proportion. Even if you aren't creating a character that's a one-to-one realistic human, following a certain code when it comes to the structure of your character is really important. This is also a place to think about the visual rule of large, medium, and small, where your design is broken up into uneven thirds. So some of your design is using large, broad shapes, medium shapes, and then smaller, sometimes detailed shapes to create visual interest, especially if you're doing so in an exaggerated way. This 7th quality, I was thinking about how Oftentimes our characters are designed to be later posed and animated, and I was thinking about calling this quality capability of movement, but I'll go a little bit vaguer and call it viability. This is involved in either handing off our work to someone else or in moving on to the next phase with them. We need to know that our character can successfully move, emote, and act in whatever respect they'll need to. Oftentimes the best thing to do is to test our character out ourselves before passing it on. The eighth quality, finally, something that we've already talked about a bit, so I'll be brief: exaggeration. It's a key piece of our arsenal when creating characters. The larger a mouth is, the tinier a set of legs are, the more visually striking a character can be. This all contributes to the above qualities. Don't be afraid to push a design in order to make it express more. If you're interested in becoming a character designer, these things are going to help build how you go about creating characters, more than just being able to draw well, even though that's definitely still important. Character design is one of the most specialized and niche roles in the art industry, and understand that you're going to be borrowing from other areas of the art world in order to build your characters. So you need to observe, practice, and study. Keep practicing, drawing every day, and always push yourself to improve the characters you create. Remember to observe the world and people around you, empathize with other humans, and analyze things that seem obvious. Don't accept the status quo, but be truly observant. Conceptualize and think about new and different things that a character can be and do. Subvert archetypes and stereotypes like we're doing right now with the Character Design Subversion Challenge. And study the best character designs, the best designers, and even master artists outside of character design will always have something to teach you if you're willing to learn and maintain a student's mindset. This is such a broad overview of what is really an entire career's worth of traits, but I hope it's able to benefit you, and stick around over the next few videos because I'm going to be diving into these things in a lot more detail. Subscribing on YouTube will let you be notified when those videos become available. I'm also building a comprehensive character design education so that you can be fully equipped to make amazing characters. Head over to learncharacterdesign.com and sign up to know when that's available. There's a free ebook that I've made called the Character Design Survival Guide, which you receive when you sign up for the newsletter. This month I've begun one-on-one tutoring, where you and I can have a one-on-one conversation about what you're struggling with, where you'd like to be, and what you can do to improve. Some of the best help, tangible advice, and spurts in my artistic growth have come from one-on-one conversations with artists that I admire, and I'm offering that to you, and for an introductory rate in February. Head to brookseggelston.com/one-on-one for more on that. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this has been helpful, and please have fun creating.